Arrest the killers of Breonna Taylor. All of y'all who think we need more evidence, you goofy. I said arrest the killers of Breonna Taylor. And Elijah McClain too. Y'all hold that boy. Arrest the killers of Breonna Taylor. All of y'all who think we need more evidence, you goofy. I said arrest the killers of Breonna Taylor. You catch the vibe? Now get off my page.
So, because of the whole Wall Street Journal thing, I wanted to do a project that allowed me to build off of the George Floyd project that I did last year, but then just give it a little bit of a twist. And so with the George Floyd project, I wanted to show how to make an AR app without code and build with basic ground plane tracking and stuff like that. With this one, I wanted to explore really the type of AR that like I've been doing a lot more, which is image tracking and the power of image tracking, and how paper in and of itself can be a container for information and technology, using paper as a technology. And I think that like we often don't think about paper as a technology, but when we look at like, you know, when things happen in other countries with dictators and stuff, the first thing that goes is books, right? Now they might take away the internet and then books, but like it's the first thing that goes is books, because paper has access to knowledge, and knowledge is technology. Containing that knowledge within paper is technology in and of itself. And I always get a kick out of it, because when people say that paper isn't technology, I think about, okay, you know, what is the worst enemy of technology or anything that's electrical? And that's water. What's the worst enemy of paper? Water, you know? And so water destroys sort of our idea of technology. And so if water destroys our idea of technology, which is our phone and our computers, then why can't you apply that to paper, which is essentially what our phones and computers were 50 years ago, right? And so as I was sort of like thinking about these things and exploring these ideas, I pitched it to the Wall Street Journal for the Future of Everything Festival. And they were just like, oh yeah, you know, social impact and all those different things. We love it. And because I'm doing a lot of stuff with PDX Open Tech, which is a project with some nonprofits, Northeastern Coalition, Portland Community College. And we have a cohort of students that I'm leading down this path. What I wanted to do was actually just give them a jump start on just really the work that I do as a AR developer, as a creator. And so what I wanted to do was actually just, you know, take them through a summer jam session and have them create their own sort of image targets, have them create their own experiences that focus around Black issues, and creating demos for their sort of demo reels and stuff. And it was going to be in spring break, and all these things are sort of like coming to a head, right? The only problem is that during spring break, people don't want to do anything. And so we ended up like doing this whole demo, doing the whole project, and working with sound, working with live coding, working with 3D animation, working with modeling, working with all these different things to create this experience. And that's what you saw, you know, that's the combination of it. And so no, like students and stuff didn't really show up during the workshop just because it was spring break, and kind of like figured that already, but it provided for us to create this project and put this stuff out on the website so that people can access it. And so when I put it out on Twitter and stuff, people were like, oh snap, how can I learn how to do this? Where can I go to find this stuff? Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you know, this is how you could do it. This is it right here. And so for these types of projects, you know, it's always perspective, and you always sort of put your best foot forward, but you know, you never know how things are going to turn out, and you have to adapt sometimes. And it's not like it's either, you know, less of a project or whatever. It's just that the projects are just so fluid and they work, right? And so with this demo, I think this was really just like a way for me to just like build on the work that I started doing, social impact for Black issues using augmented reality. And how could you use that to create experiences that communicate stuff? And for me, it's like, at this point, I'm just the Black AR guy on YouTube that does social impact work, right? Like I create these experiences and I try to address certain issues or speak to an idea that is out there, because, like, Black people over here still getting shot up and it sucks, right? Like it sucks, but like this is the world that we sort of live in. And so how do you navigate that? How do you try to address those issues in a way and still also be innovative, right? You don't have to be doing the same things they were doing in the 60s now, right? We got freaking Instagram and Snapchat and all those different things. The use of technology has advanced this, right? They say BLM is a hate group and all these different things. And, with the Black Panthers, like, they were able to take out the Black Panthers because they knew exactly where they lived. And they were able to use the system and the institutions to disseminate the onslaught that we saw. If you saw Judas and the Black Messiah, like, you saw what they did. They used technology against us. And so for this, it's like the beauty of the internet, the beauty of, anonymity through technology. The same stuff that white supremacy uses can be used for impact to combat all those things. And we're seeing that happen to where, somebody says Black Lives Matter, and then somebody will be like, all lives matter. And then, you respond in a way that, shows that we're not going anywhere and they can't do anything. They just say some comments back to you. Like, what is that going to do? Right. It might get under, under your skin, but it's not going to stop the movement like they've been doing in the past. And so for these, it's like, once these are out, they're out, they exist, and you can't take it away now. You can't take the inspiration, the video, the images away now that they're out there. And I think that's the power of it. The power of it is that the conversation doesn't change. The medium and the way in which we experience the conversation changes, and it makes it more sustainable to where you don't have to be in person to experience and have this conversation. And you don't have to be in the same vicinity. You don't even have to speak the same language. You don't even have to, you just need access to the internet and stuff. It's like having water, right? As long as you have water, you can live. And so as long as we have technology, as long as we have the internet, as long as we have mobile devices, which are not going anywhere, like, this will all exist. And I think that's it right there. That's the power. And so, I'm just really excited to just continue this work and continuing to inspire people to go down this path, because it's something that isn't going anywhere. Like, it's not. And if we sort of sit on our laurels and not try to improve and innovate and try to make things better for all of us, then, like, what is this all for, right? Like, is it for something or is it for nothing? And so with that, again, tap in with the patreon.com/Iltopia. Check out my work at shop.iltopia.com. Definitely go tap in with PDX Black Rose and Black Superheroes Matter. If you enjoy any of the stuff that I'm doing, support your boy. Be on the lookout for the Wall Street Journal Future of Everything Festival. And obviously stuck on an island, because stuck on an island is where we're at right now. Like, everybody's stuck on an island at this point, because of COVID. And so what do you do once you get off the island? You go back into the world, and what opportunities will you have? What will you be able to explore? I feel like that's something I should just explore in my webcomic. But yeah, I really appreciate all the time and the support and everything. Getting ready for medical school, getting ready for the Future of Everything Festival, and yeah, it's it's just wild how things have turned out. But social impact, that's it. do things to have impact, create work that has impact, inspire. That's the name of the game right now. And that's something that I hope to continue doing. So without further ado, adios. Yo, this is Steve from Stuck on Eyeland. I definitely appreciate you taking the time to check out my work. Follow me on all the social nets. Be sure to check out my studio, Iltopia, on all the other platforms. And if you want to get some merch, check out shop.iltopia.com.